Hello everybody and welcome back to another edition of What is on My Desk, and also this is going to be going on to a collaborative OstFront-Gaming channel, which is brought to you with me, Mr. Richard Yorke, and my special guest, XTRG. Do you want to say
is that an insult there, special? I think it's already insulted me already. We've only just begun.
You know, guys, the insults do not stop. So if you want to hear more insults, just sit back and listen.
Yep, so of course you guys might know me as XTRG, and on camera for the first time, though not the last time. So
well, maybe after this they'll say get rid of you.
Probably, it's one of those things. I'm not going to get into it. But indeed, you guys will know me as XTRG. But of course, we are doing a collaborative channel here called OstFront-Gaming, where we are going to be doing our war game in crack addictions, really, isn't it?
Oh, it's a hold you can never get out of.
I like these holes you can't get out of, really, but I can't say that on TV. So what do we have today then, Richard?
So as you saw in the previous video, guys, it was the part one of when I actually bought it and had a little bit of discussion of Hit the Beach. This is now the unboxing. We're going to have a little bit of a chat about it, how we feel about it and the value, and just giving you, a kind of unbiased review of the product, which, we're here to do. We're here to give you that extra, knowledge.
How it's improved our life, how it's changed my life.
Forever.
This got me off a crack.
You're on plastic crack now.
Yeah, I'm on that resin, man.
So what we'll start with, guys and girls, let's not be sexist, because you know what, I hear so many people just say guys.
We've only been insulting towards me, so what difference does it make towards the audience?
Yeah, it's true. So we're going to start with the basics of the box set, the rule books and stuff. So do you want to grab the first thing?
Yeah,
you're not grabbing me, remember, I've told you about this.
You can't see what I'm doing under the table, though. So we'll take a look over here then. So we have the Flamesofwar rulebook over here. Now, Flamesofwar is of course 15mm. If you guys can take a quick look over here. So for example, this would be the 15mm Panzer IV. So the thing is, it's like with 15mm. I mean, what would you say is the main advantage of 15mm scale?
It's, well, cost as well as size of storing it. I mean, I'm a massive 28mm player, and I've got stacks. Stacks of troops. I mean, I love 28mm. But I love 15mm as well, just because you can fit an army, a huge army, in a very small container.
Well, this is it. For example, I mean, we've got our lovely table here, and it's just the scale looks right, doesn't it? For example, as well, another thing you can do is like model railways, the actual buildings that look a lot better when compared to 15mm infantry. It looks right. I think the scale just makes for a better game. You just have more stuff on the board here. But yeah, the first thing I'm taking a look at is the Flamesofwar rulebook. And to be honest, I've not yet played Flamesofwar, but this is really quite good. I mean, you can take a look at the actual details here. I mean, this is full colour. I mean, this is A5. This is something that is so easily transportable. You can take this wherever. For example, I have a younger brother who's actually looking at getting into Flamesofwar, looking at getting into tabletop gaming, and he loves this sort of stuff. This is so approachable. For example, we do have the cards. I mean, we have the cards here, but it's the fact that you actually get them explained to you actually in the rulebook. It's so nice. We have like the turn sequence, we have the starting steps. It's so much in here. And it's not just tied to the D-Day landings. It is the entire rulebook. You're not just getting like a half-arse, like just a small snapshot.
It's not saying here is a snippet, it's
here's
your full English breakfast. I love that analogy. Not just here's your bacon.
There we go, so that would be the rulebook there. A5, full colour, nice quality. That's not going to rip. And you're saying that, Richard.
We'll have a quick look. This is in the starter set. It's a quick start Flamesofwar core rules. So a quick, booklet, like I'd even say menu of.
You've got the English breakfast in your head now, haven't you?
I have now. That's going to be the theme for everything. So we've just got some nice dioramas of what the values of shooting, description of cards. Some examples of armor saves, bailing out, shooting. So just a quick reference. What you need sometimes when you're on just playing a game is just to look, it's like, well, wasn't sure about that, and I can go, well, it's going to sort the menu of breakfasts. But yeah, simple. It is literally what it says on the tin, and it's a piece of paper, and it's good quality as well.
Obviously, what more could you ask for? Now, obviously, I'm going to move on to the cards here that I did speak of earlier in the actual rulebook. Now, a lot of war games are actually moving towards a card-based system, and I don't think it takes away from the game in any way. I just think it improves it. It's like, for example, if you guys can take a look over here then. So we've got the 7.5cm tank hunting platoon, and it's beautiful. It's the fact you get a coloured image, you get this on a nice bit of card. If you guys can hear that, that is a nice bit of card. Full colour.
It's not any old card.
It's an M&S card.
It's an M&S card.
But it's the fact that, for example, I can see what this unit is like motivation-wise, it's confident, its skill is veteran. I can see what it's actually hit on. I can tell you what, I mean, we've all played 40k, haven't we? It's one of these things of, okay, right, okay, what are you hitting me on roll? I mean, you got your ballistic skill, you got your weapon skills. This is basically, okay, it's hit on a 4, boom, there we go, done. So nice. But we've obviously got these for the Germans, we've got these for the Americans here. The fact is, it's like you actually get the units rules, you get how far it can move, you get all sorts of different details, the weapon details, but you also get the special rules. You can see how much it actually costs for the points. So, for example, I can see here that 3 M4 Sherms with 75mm gun is 10 points, but 5 of them are 18 points. It's just so much. I can see the special rules. It's nice. It makes it really easy. I could actually give that to my younger brother, and he'll be able to play this. I don't imagine it'll take him long to figure it out, and it's a lot of fun, isn't it, really?
But also, it brings the more casual wargamer into a more complex game, and that you're not scared of having to troll for a book, or you've got these little cards here. I know Warlord Games have done that with most of their tanks, which is certainly a fantastic concept, that you've got it right there. You can go, well, this unit, I've got it on my board, I can see what that does, and instantly, there you go. So, like I said, it's bringing a more complex rule game to more of a casual gamer. So you can pick this box set up and go, well, we can play this. Maybe have a read or two of the rule for an hour, and you'll be just hitting the beaches.
Well,
do you see what I did there?
Hitting the beaches, alright. I'm just thinking, we're talking about how easy it is and that I can actually get the cards back in, so I don't know what that says about me. I don't think it's an age rating on getting them back in there. But it probably should be.
So we'll go to the next added extra to the Hit the Beach starter set. So we have a construction guide. Which what I like about this guide is that it actually details and shows you what men sit on each bases. I mean, I've played some games where you get like a bag of men, and you're sitting there going, in what combination do these go into fit to their rifle platoon, Panzer Grenadier?
We wouldn't know about large, just masses of bags of just masses of men.
No, we wouldn't. Not actually. I don't know who you. I think you escape confusing it with another gaming company. I think. So as here as well, we've got the general, the Germans, how they're sorry, the Americans even on the bases. As you can see, the bases do have a circular plot. It's on the other side actually. Oh, there we go. A circular plot where you can just get your man, put a bit of plastic glue, Bob's your uncle.
Oh, this is it. I mean, it's brilliant. I mean, for example here, if you guys can see this, a little bit clearer. We apologise about this. Obviously, we are trying to figure out how to get things set up. So ideally, you guys can see this. But for example, with the Panzerfour here, I like the fact that it takes it from the actual top of the vehicle all the way down. So it's like you start in stages, aren't you, really? So you get the you get the turret built up. You got the turret, that's all done. So that's one piece there. That's a third of the model done right there, isn't it? And then you move on to the hull. Hull's done. Boom, down onto the actual lower base of the hull there, and you are done. It's really lovely. It's just, I mean, this is it. It's so well explained.
It's making it, like I said, a complex war game more,
Child
accessible. Play. Yeah, child play. Even I could do this.
Well, this is it, isn't it? Even we can do this.
I can play war games. And the final thing of the extras is the dice. So we get. I love dice, guys. If you are a war gamer, you just have tons of dice, and you can never have too many dice.
I think it's a gambler, isn't it?
Yeah. And we just have 10 grey, of course, German grey, and we have 10 olive green. Standard dice. They're some sort of laminated plastic.
They look quite nice,
but they are nice. I don't think they're going to chip very good. And look at that rolls quite good. I'm going to be using them dice later.
All the sixes again.
So yeah, quite impressed with the box set so far. And for the price...
Oh yeah, the price is amazing.
I mean, I think I remember I bought the game for £31 from my local gaming centre, and I am still astounded at the how cost effective, and like I was saying before we did this video, I'd consider buying it again.
You can see why. I mean, for example, I have 3 Panzer-4s over here. We have the V1, which is part of the terrain set there, but for example, I've got 2 AT guns here for the German forces. And then, of course, we do have the infantry sprues over here with a mix of German grenadiers and American forces. But for example, you get 3 Panzers in here. And now, of course, this is a D-Day set, but you don't have to use this exclusively for the D-Day landings. For example, you got the Panzers. The Panzers are transferable to basically any front, aren't they, really? You can do early war, you can do mid-war, you can do late war, you can do war games of various different natures. For example, we have the Battle Group rule book over here, which is also 15mm scale. So, for example, the thing is, it's like you've got to look at this as almost. I suppose it's like. What do they call it now? It's like an entryway, isn't it? This is your. This is your entry level. This is basically cannabis over here. Then, so this is your entry level drug over here. So you buy this, but the thing is, you can play all these 15mm war games by using this set. So you're not just buying into Flamesofwar, you're also buying into Battle Group and many other 15mm war games out there. And I mean, look at all those Shermans.
It's just Sherman galore. Like, I think, is it 7? I think I might go through the contents again for you guys.
That's a good idea.
So we've got, on the Americans, we've got 2 Shermans with 75mm. We've got 3 Shermans with 76mm. But can you tell the difference? Is there a significance between the 76mm and the 75mm? I don't think there is. That's a question probably to people watching this video. What is the distinguished distance, the difference between the 76? That's a good question. I've just thought of that in my head.
I do see a difference here. Okay, so I wonder if this is a 76mm.
Oh yes, that is a 76mm.
You can see the difference here with the actual turrets, can't you? It looks like the actual turret is. It's a bit more flat, isn't it? I mean, we do have the traditional Sherman here.
Is that the weight distribution again? No, it's how big the gun is, isn't it? I think we talked about it.
I believe so.
Yeah. So there we go. So we've got a total of 2 platoons of 75mm tanks and 1 platoon of 76mm, and then we've got 32 figures of a parachute rifle platoon. That is kind of cool. And then just look at the Germans. We've got 6-figure Panzer Grenadier HQ. We've got 2 Panzer Grenadier 58 figures.
That's a lot of figures.
So that's a lot of figures there. That is a lot of just a lot. And then we've got 2 7.5cm 80 guns, Pack 40 if I remember. And then we've got 3 Stoic Panzer IV tanks. And then of course we've got the extras, we've got the rule book, the quick guide set, the flying bomb, the unit cards, the dice. This is not no criticism of any war game. Tape measures. You ever thought about this? Like in a starter set, do you ever get a tape measure?
No, you don't, do you really?
Well, yeah, I suppose you go out to Wilco's and buy one for £1, don't you?
Yeah, but it's not special. It's not branded.
Well,
it's not a war game.
That's an untapped resource there. Think of the profit margin.
We are selling ex-Wilco branded.
For £2.
Flames of Wilco.
Copyright, that's it, quick. So, any final thoughts?
It's just fantastic value, isn't it? I mean, for example, we do have the infantry over here. But what I like about this is the fact that these men come individually based. We do have the bases over here, so of course you guys can place them on these bases. And I think, it looks like there's some grooves on here, so you don't have to glue these guys in. So it's really quite easy, isn't it? It's all about making the game just easy, versatile, and just easy to get into, really, isn't it?
I think if you wanted to, use them for different war games, you could maybe think about magnetising them.
Oh yeah, magnetising.
I mean, that would be a good thing, magnetising the bases, and then you can take them off and put one into the bases. But if you got the time to do that, but that would be a thought on my mind. But there's some nice poses. You've got kind of this officer doing a Han Solo gun thing. He's doing this for some reason.
I suppose the question is, would you buy it again?
I think I would buy it again. I think even for the slightly higher £31 price I bought it, that is amazing value. But then if you could have got it for £28, it's a lot of tanks, a lot of men. But like I think we said before on a previous time, it's not just tanks.
It is the infantry as well. You get the AT guns. You've got a mix. It's not just tank warfare. You get the whole bag here, really. You can actually have I suppose you could have something that'd be more of a realistic sort of game. But the thing is, it's just beautiful, really, isn't it? And what I'd like to compare this to is, for example, let's think of a hobby shop, a workshop of games, perhaps.
Yes, a workshop of games.
I mean, I could maybe buy 2 Imperial Guard for the same price, if I'm lucky.
That's lucky, though. That's lucky. So, guys, we're going to wrap it up there. My thoughts are... It's just good value. I will definitely check this out, and I'm really going to buy it again. I think I probably will buy it again. Me and XTRG will be using this battle set.
I'm looking forward to getting it assembled.
On the battlefields, probably right here, in front of us.
We can redo our close combat, can't we?
Yeah, let's not talk about that. Let's change subjects.
We've got plenty of Shermans. It's just so nice. And it's like you've got so many Shermans here, it really does lead to a different sort of play style as well. For example, the actual Panzer IVs, you have 3 of them, but the fact is you've got AT guns. So now these AT guns, obviously without taking a look at the rules, I can imagine it does lead you into playing a different sort of style. But I don't think you just have to play defensively as a German. I can imagine you could launch some sort of counter-attack, really.
It's the number of men the Germans have. They do have, I think, what's their men value? So they've got 58. So the Americans outnumber them in armour, but the Germans outnumber them in infantry.
Oh, no,
But of course, the Panzer IV is just slightly better than the Sherman, so it's got a slight edge on that. So, but yeah, it is fantastic, and I can only think there is actually a spider on it.
I just wondered about that one. Well, the spider loves it as well. I think that's a glowing endorsement of that.
Yeah. Interspecies likeness of games. So there we go, guys. Don't forget to check the links below, especially to XTRG's channel, and then also check the Patreon page. If you're watching this on OstFront Games, check the link below to the Patreon to OstFront, and of course XTRG's and my channel, because we're all contributing to this. But also,
and your channel being Richard Yorke, just make sure people know about that.
Don't forget, guys, if you're watching this on my channel, consider subscribing and that like button and checking my Patreon page. It has been fantastic for XTRG to be here.
And the guest.
The guest spider. But thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen, and how for now.